Hello, and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman podcast. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable, but most importantly, I am human. Welcome to part two of the story time about my experience with natural hair to kind of encourage and educate those who don't know why we need the Crown Act to pass. But I left off talking about a specific hairdresser. And okay, well, like I said, I was telling her that I was thinking about going natural and I was doing research on my hair. And it just felt like each time I was going, she was like pressuring me to get a relaxer. Even though I was telling her, can we go other routes? Can we try other hairstyles to the point where I can decide if I just want to go natural and stop getting relaxers, period? Oh, what are you talking about? No. Yeah, no, you're not doing that. And she was like, okay, we'll just try some other hair products on top of the relaxer so that maybe you can feel more confident with it. Even though I'm like, shouldn't I be confident with the hair that naturally grows out of my scalp? And why are you pressuring me? Because part of me felt like she was pressuring me because she had no idea how to handle natural hair, and or she knew that if she refused to stop putting relaxer in my hair, I would probably stop going to her, which I was thinking of doing. And it was to the point where I was so annoyed with her negativity. And part of me was like, I cared more about, okay, let's pay off debts. Let's save some money. Let me work my tush off so I can pay down student loans. And it's like I was trying to work as much as possible. So then my schedule was getting so busy where I could not see her. And it got to the point where she would start texting me, when are you going to come and see me? You know you're overdue for a relaxer. And I would be out of town, and I'd be like, okay, well, I'll try to schedule something within the next week or two, but I'm working in Kentucky or Indiana or Chicago or Philadelphia somewhere. And I honestly was not able to. And it was just to the point. I remember one day I started getting text messages from her, and she was like, well, since your hair is so complicated and you just don't, I forgot everything she said, but I just remember she just started putting me down. And I think her mental health was off balance as well, or way off balance, because when I met her, she was married. She has a child that has a disability. And while I was seeing her, I remember one time she was doing my hair, and this is like near the end, like almost near the end, I'll say. I remember one time her husband came into they with their house. Sorry, I'll describe the house. They have the regular house portion, and then they have a part where you walk outside the house, and then there's another part of the house that is totally separate from the rest of it. Well, her husband, at first I thought, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. You should be happy to have a husband that encourages you to have your own business and everything, because he helped her like get the materials and assemble it and install it into like a beauty salon in the house and everything. So I was like, cool. But this night, this night was interesting because I remember I came over to her house and I called her telling her I was there, and she told me to come in. But when I walked in, I just kind of noticed her face looked like she was like scolding. She was so upset, so mad and frustrated, and she started slamming a couple things. And finally I think she snapped out of it, realizing, oh yeah, you're my customer. Okay, just to make sure I don't scare you off, let me try to calm down. And so she kind of started talking to me, but then reminding me that I am a week late on the relaxer and things. But then she kind of congratulated, like when she started like washing my hair, she was like, "Wow, your hair's grown so much. Wow, it's getting so healthy and everything." But then, yeah, she didn't. I kept telling her I was doing research on my natural hair, and I was trying different oils and products, and it was working. Some of it was working, and especially her saying it, I knew it was working. Because at first I wasn't sure, but like even when she put the conditioner in my hair, she just started like just saying, "Wow, this is like you're doing a great job. It's like keep it up." And she said it the second to last time I saw her as well. So I know that I've learned a lot about taking care of my natural hair, but back to the that night. So I'm getting ready, or I'm just sitting there getting ready for another treatment, and I think she was gonna do some kind of oil treatment or something like that for moisture. And again, she's trying to convince me to stay with relaxer. So she is doing anything and everything she can to just convince me that I have terrible bad hair and I have ugly hair and I better blah blah blah. So she is just trying to spoil my hair to the point where I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll stay. I'll do it, like in a way brainwashing, because and she has relaxed hair. And parts of me wonders what's her hair type? What's her natural hair type? And how does she like her hair? Does she like her hair? Does she love her hair? It's like if someone said the same thing that she says to me, to her, how would she feel? How would she get by day? And it's so that's why sometimes I'm just shocked and amazed at how hard she laughed at me and she ridiculed me and put me down and semi threatened me, because like she would it's like I don't know any hairstylist that would want to even touch your hair if you don't get a relaxer. Oh, I was like, I know I would never put my hands in your hair if this is what I would have to deal with. Like, and she would be like gripping on my new growth or whatever. And how would she feel if someone did that to her? And, I will admit, I do have more of a complicated hair type. I do. But the thing is, all of my life, I was never able to embrace and learn and acknowledge my hair type. And I'm going to explain that after I talk about this night, because so yeah, she's talking about how much I grew my hair and it's like how it's healthy. So then she's gonna, trim it and everything, and how she's gonna add like the special oil and stuff that's gonna keep it like from getting split ends from the relaxers and chemicals and everything, blah blah blah. But then, but then the door opens and here comes her husband. Yeah, that's when I started hearing product slam again. I heard product slam again because the first time I kind of jumped because I think I was at the sink still, and so I wasn't expecting it. It was startling, and like usually when you're at the salon and you're getting your hair treated and washed and conditioned, you just get a breather because someone is treating you to something. Someone is helping you with the service of beauty. And so normally that should be relaxing and just kind of a nice, like, just a mental health break because someone is, you know, doing their thing on your scalp. Oh, and that massage too and everything when done right. So my mental health, well, let's just say, like, on top of her ridicule of my hair and everything, I had to deal with their fight. I had to deal with their fight. And as a business person, I can say it does not matter. It does not matter what's going on in with your life. Like at either you, especially since the business is at her house, either you like turn off the water and you might, dap my head or give me a towel in case anything gets in my eyes or whatever. And you say, okay, 1 minute, you step into that house and then you yell at each other from a distance from me, away from me, if you cannot hold it in. But hold it in as much as possible. Allow me to enjoy, like, even though she's ridiculing me, blah, blah, blah. It's like, since I'm used to mental abuse, I was like, I just took it. And part of me was just like, I just wanted my hair to feel clean and rejuvenated, blah, 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 whatever. Chemicals or not, whatever. And so, if you're running a business, there's a time and a place. If you need to step away because you cannot hold it in, step away because your customers are seeing you. They're watching you. They're going to remember this. And do you really want this to be how they think of you? And it's not a good look because she slammed that bottle down and she just, like, I heard her she started swearing. What the are you doing in here? It's like, I didn't say you can come in here. It's like, you better get back in that house. And he's yelling back, but I think he's trying not to swear because he actually knows how to run a business and treat customers. Because he even apologized. He apologized because of the yelling and stuff. I think he was just going to come in, and because I've met him a few times, I've said hi to him. And so I think since he knew that I was getting my hair done, I think maybe he was just coming by, just do a quick hello, how are you, and stuff like that. And I think we had the same breed of dogs. And so I think that's another, like, I think since then, we we had kind of had, like, I won't say a friendship, but it's like whenever you came by the business, it was just like, hey, how's your dog? And or it's like what did your family members blah 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 blah. So um but yeah, they were arguing and fighting like nobody's business. And part of me now, I was like, I wish I could have popped some popcorn and just sat and watched, like, okay, well, if you guys are gonna bring some drama, some petty tea and everything, you should have let me have some snacks and a soda, so that in fact, let me enjoy it. Don't force me to be uncomfortable and everything. And now I'm sitting in the chair with my hair dripping, like, um, okay, you guys are fighting, and I'm just sitting here. I just want to go home. I just want to, especially, it's like, if I just can't watch, if I can't watch because, and part of me was just like, I don't know how far it's gonna go, and I don't want to be a witness to any of this. At the same time, like, I want to make sure she's safe. So it's really uncomfortable because it's just like, is this like a 911 situation? Like, what's going on? I don't know. But at the same time, and okay, the petty side of me, like, the reason part of me was just like, get the popcorn or whatever, because especially the way she was treating me and threat, like, if I stop getting relaxed, or she's not going to treat my hair, and who's going to want to see me and stuff like that. Part of I was just like, huh, okay, is this karma? Is this what karma tastes like? I think this is what karma tastes like. So, anyways, like, ever since then, there were a few more hair appointments. But then next thing I know, this is a few months later, I make a hair appointment and her address is changed. Her location is different. And I'm wondering why, like what's going on, what's happening. And I drive up to the place and it's a lot different, a lot smaller. And now I have to go down a basement in order to get my hair done. And I find out, oh, you're getting a divorce. And this is when she just starts like complaining about him and telling me this and like stories. And part of me was just like, okay, um, oh, yeah, right, wow. And I know like with the beauty salon, it's like it's usually gossip and telling you stories and everything. And it's like, yeah, I did feel partially bad for the situation, but especially when I remembering the fight that I witnessed, she was like, parts of me wonders, was it him or was it her? Because I would not be surprised if it was her, because she has a very dominant, very overbearing, very just do as I say or else attitude. And she will have attitude and it's just be frustrating. And parts of me was just like, oh, I know he didn't have an easy life living with her. It's like, I know he did. It's like, and he tried supporting and helping her with her dream of having her own salon and everything. And it's like, because when I walked into, like I said, when he walked into the house portion or whatever, it's like he didn't even get a word out. He hardly entered the house and she's just yelling and going at it. And but at that last appointment, after like once I found out they were getting a divorce after that fight and argument and the drama and everything, is she again, oh no, it's like, well, the time before she complimented me on the hair growth, and this time she even mentioned how it's getting healthier and healthier, and she was pretty impressed. And I think she even complimented me on the thickness of my hair and everything. So it's like she didn't realize that I was kind of just I was almost at the point where I was like, you know what, I am going natural. But when she said that, I realized, yep, I'm going natural. Okay. And I didn't tell her because I knew what she did and I knew what she would say and how she would try to make me feel as ugly as possible to force me to keep with the relaxer and the chemicals and toxins and everything. And she would literally force me to not do something that I really wanted to do. Even though tons of people tell me I have bad hair, I have ugly hair, it's uncontrollable, and all this other stuff. I did, like I said, I started studying the hair. I started researching products and different things, and I was noticing a difference. My beautician was noticing a difference, even though she was ignorant on how to treat people and ignorant on natural hair. And I'm going to talk about this in another episode coming up soon about ways that maybe hair schools need to learn and like embrace natural hair. And maybe that can help more women be able to have natural hairstyles if they are knowledgeable on how to maintain it, keep it beautiful, long, healthy, thick, and vibrant. Why not? Let's do that. So, okay. So, after my last appointment with her, I get I get booked so much with different promotional modeling gigs. And so I'm going from state to state promoting different brands and everything and working on grad school, and I am like overwhelmed. And at the same time, I'm trying to do payments and everything. So it's like I didn't really have the money for hair because I was trying to have other goals and aspirations. So part of me was just like, okay, I can wear a sew-in or a wig or I think it was a wig at this time until I'm ready to go get my hair done. I'm but I was thinking about doing the big chop. And I remember the day that I made the big chop because I started getting text messages one day. And this is coincidentally, I'm at home. I think I just finished 3 or 4 weeks of continuous promos where I only had like 1 or 2 days off a week for 2 of the weeks, but the rest of the weeks I worked every day, every single day. And some of them I worked 12-hour shifts. And so I was exhausted. But I woke up to my phone. Where are you? When are you going to come see me? You're taking too long. So I'm going to lose you as a client because you don't care anything about your hair. And it's terrible. Like, she's just ripping me to shreds, trying to make me feel so ugly and worthless. And so she's calling me different names of the book, saying I'm a waste of time and waste of space and everything. And I wish I had the text messages on me. And if I can contact my cellular service, I would be like, okay, can you get my text messages in? Let's see, I think this would be around to 2008. No, maybe 2012, something like that. Yeah, 2012, I think, is the year. If I could get those text messages, I would be able to have all of the proof necessary because, again, she was just putting me down, tearing me apart, and trying to make me feel so ugly and worthless. And I'm like, you're a beautician? You went to beauty school, you have your cosmetology license, and you literally try your best to make women feel ugly because they don't want to put a toxin in their hair, because they want to maybe embrace their natural. And so we went back and forth, and oh, I will admit I got petty too, because I'm just like, okay, so you're not. Oh yeah, because she even had a "I'm trying to be white" comment, and I'm like, girl, okay. I was like, oh, you talking about me? I was like, your husband was white, and it's like, yeah, some of my exes were white, but it's like she's gonna pull out that card, and we lived where we lived, not too far from each other, like literally 5-10 minutes from each other. And it was just baffling. It was just like, really? It's like you wanted me as a client because you said how similar we were. And you said how great of a connection because of how, because we both related to black men saying we were too white. But now all of a sudden she doesn't want me as a client. So now she's going to use that against me, even though she was called the same thing, to the point where it's like, because yeah, I tried dating black men. They don't like me. They don't want me. I talk about that in an earlier podcast. So check it out, listen to it. And oh, if you listen to my dating nightmares episodes, oh, I have so many more examples from black men too. But yeah, they don't like me. Majority of them don't like me. And yeah, it gets interesting. But anyway, I just remember going back and forth and being frustrated, especially when she tried to say that like whole white comment. Because I'm like, define what a black woman is supposed to be. Define, what am I supposed to be like? How am I supposed to act? It's like, and then look at yourself. Do you fit your own definition and description of a black woman? Because you said we're so similar. It's like, if we're so similar, that means you don't fit the definition either. So, but it got interesting. Oh, it got so interesting because at the end, I hung up and I was frustrated for a little bit. But then I started thinking, And then I started feeling my hair. And I'm like, it's time. It's time. And I remember I was so nervous and everything and I was like, okay, so am I going to be able to afford wigs until my hair gets long enough? And I'm trying to figure out the math and everything. But part of me was just like, you know what? You've done your research. You know what you got to do. And you've seen, it's like the thing is like the last time before I got a relaxer, when I saw my new growth, it started looking differently. And so part of me was just like, oh, okay, if I continue this, is this going to be what happens to my hair? And so I remember going to the bathroom with a pair of scissors and taking really big breaths and snip, snip. And oh my gosh, I'm looking at myself like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm doing this. I hope I'm making the right decision. I hope I'm not going to be ugly, because then I'm thinking of all of the things I've heard throughout my life from my beautician and women in my family and the laughter and just, yeah. So I'm like, am I going to be ugly? Is a man not going to want me? If I'm going to be so unattractive and vile, or people just going to laugh at me? I'm thinking about all of these things because that's all people were telling me throughout my life with my hair. And so I'm just snip, snip. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm doing this. I hope I'm making the right decision. Snip, snip. Okay, it's like, just remember, get some more of that conditioner and that product that you found online. Make sure you moisturize. Okay, let's figure out a regular regimen to make sure you keep this going. Snip, snip, snip. Until, yeah, I was relaxer hair free. And I just remember for the next 5 or 6 months, I just started spoiling my hair, doing the same thing since I started doing my research. And oh my gosh, I had like such a relieving moment because I went to the restroom to see my growth and I wanted to kind of experiment and everything. And I saw my curls, like a long curl for the first time. And I saw how vibrant and beautiful it was. I was so excited because I've never, like all my life, I've never seen it like that before. So I remember I went downstairs and my mom and my sister were in the kitchen. They never saw it either. And so I walked up to my sister and I was like, do you want to see my hair? Because I still had it covered up and stuff. I want to be a surprise. I've seen your hair. What are you talking about? So I walked up to her and I took a couple curls out and then I did spring, pulling on it. And oh, those curls snapped right back in place. Oh, when I say it was healthy. And my sister was like, oh, what? How'd you, how'd you do that? What? Mom, mother, did you see her? I know what her hair looks like. I raised her. And she was like, no, you haven't. No, not like this. So I walked to my mom and I showed her. Oh, it felt so wonderful because, like, my own mom saying I had bad, ugly, terrible hair and everything, showing her how my natural hair is, and how beautiful my natural hair could be. It felt absolutely wonderful. And now it's like I'm growing it out. I still wear wigs and stuff like that, but you have to remember the mental health, and there will be an episode 3 about this. But with the mental health, for years and years, from men I was either going to be dating or talking to, whatever, from my family members, from beauticians, I kept hearing how awful and ugly my hair was. So I still feel ugly. I still feel insecure, low self-esteem. But now you guys know my hair story, so thank you for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman podcast. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable, but most importantly, I am human. I am appreciating and loving my hair. Appreciate yours as well. Bye.